Alright, Subchapter D, Forms and Reports, Louisiana Administrative Code. Subchapter D, Forms and Reports, 159, required forms and reports. The following forms and reports shall be filed with the Office of the Director. Installation report shall be properly completed with the witness, with the customer, his or her authorized representative, that include the reinstall, the complete with the shall be maintained with the dealer, trouble the document should be made available to the Commission within 15 days of the request. Pressure test should be documented. Installation report with the container with the install, with the reinstall, with the other case with the pressure test that is required in 167 and 175. Pressure test may be fulfilled with the Commission. Any installation report form is not as such with the documentation of pressure test shall be maintained by the dealer. Sketches shall be filed with the Office of the Director. Shall initial approval, the final approval shall be granted by the Office of the Director after installation, but prior to the placing into service of the following petroleum gas systems: dealer bulk storage, liquid withdrawal system, except for the system in private use, the place for the public assembly, school, for the church, for the hospital, nursing homes, or other similar systems. Either liquid or vapor system, the automatic dispense for the use of the motor fuel required in Louisiana Administrative Code, Title 55-9. 163C, the sketch of the class of the 6 through 9 and 6 through 10 installation shall be filed with the Office of the Director for the initial approval of the Commission, reserve the right to allow with the installation be played with the service prior to the final inspection. Upon inspection, if the installation is deemed to be out of compliance with the Commission's rule with the regulation, the server, the dealer shall remove the liquid petroleum gas cylinders for the installation within 24 hours. The dealer shall correct with the deficiency within request for the final inspection, approve of the installation. Installation shall remain out of service until the final approval is granted by the Commission. 3. Reports on fire accidents in accordance with 125, the document in accordance with 147, the proof of the insurance and financial security in accordance with 107 and A3 and A3AA, drawings in accordance with 113A11C, and reports in accordance with 107 and A6A, with the location approval of the firm shall also be in accordance with 113A3B. Alright, location approval forms, submission of this form with the Class 3 dealer representative did not absolve the dealer of the following the rules, regulations established with the Commission concerning with the storage of the liquefied petroleum gas due to the fact that all requisite details are not submitted regarding the storage tank referred to this form. There is assumed the approval that is made with the information submitted with the details regarding the information may provide with comply with all the regulation. Any change to the cylinder location will require the new form to be submitted and show the Class 3 dealer the name of the dealer supplying the gas. Stored length, protection, and vehicle or impact, stored location, inside building, outside building, stored location, property distance, electrical equipment, ignition source, doors and windows, name of the Class 3 dealer, supplier, 24-hour contact storage, also proper single display, storage, and location, display, public, have the active cylinder storage location, yes, or please enter sketch submitted but properly permitted with the dealer, contact information, cylinder location, and Alright, Subchapter E, Automatic Dispenser used for motor fuel. Automatic dispenser used for motor fuel. Also serve the automatic dispensing station for the entertainment of the Class 6 permit with the Liquid Petroleum Gas Commission before engaging in business with the filing with the ICC with the DIOT cylinders and self-service style is prohibited. Step-by-step operation instructions and fire of the emergency telephone number shall be posted in the conspicuous place for the immediate vicinity of the automatic dispenser. All of the dispensing measures should be calibrated at least once every 2 years. The calibration report shall be retained by the dealer at least 3 years. Commission reserve the right to review the calibration reports upon demand. Subchapter F, the tank truck, semi-trailers, and trailers. Measurement. All trucks delivering liquefied petroleum gas for the domestic ship with the equipped with a tube with a measuring device shall be accurately gauged with the amount with the gas plate within each of the system, either the meter or by weight. The truck's meter shall be calibrated at least once every 2 years with every 1 million gallons of the gas delivered. Whichever occurs, the calibration report shall be retained with the dealer in this truck file with at least 3 years of the Commission and reserve the right to review the calibration reports for the on demand. 166, the truck delivery truck cargo container compliance requirements. The registry for the dealers for the operator of the transport and of the delivery truck for the state of Louisiana should register on the Commission annually with the annual registry for the fee of the $15 each unit of the registry for the annual registration period procedure for the established with the Office of the Director for the Commission for the transport of the land or delivery truck operating over the highways of the state of Louisiana with no registration decal with expired registration decal like fixed for the unit with the concern of the violation of the Commission from the regulations subject for the penalty of the include with any unit operating behind the established registration period with the current registration fixed with the unit with the unload with the load with the unload any of the cargo unit not meeting the Commission regulations. Alright, safety inspection with the inconvenient upon with the dealers of delivery to ensure all transport delivery truck for being operated with over the highway to Louisiana meet all the federal state requirement. The Commission reserve the right to inspect with any of the transport the drive of the truck with the registered at any time, and the inspection may be performed with the Commission inspect with the qualified agents acceptable with the Commission. Dealer safety inspections performed by the Commission inspector outside of the state of Louisiana should be solely with the discretion of the procedures established by the Office of the Director. 167. Out of gas customers or interruption service procedures. When a delivery of the gas is made any on the onside with the container with the out of gas with petroleum gas service with an interrupt the service dealing was shall follow with the following procedures. When the out of gas customer is not present with the container service the shut off with the container service valve. B. Place with the tag on the container resident of the building of the equipment with the container strip with the indicator of the container out for the tag shall inform of the gas container with the container with the petroleum gas deal with the other qualified agency with the perform a leak check with the test of the system required with the before turning on the container. Further action system responsibility with the customer play for the system back into service without the required test. He assumes liability for the system when the out of gas customer is present with the container service to the shop of the container service valve. Be informed of the gas customer with the containers out of service when the qualified agent shall perform a leak check with the test of the system required before turning on the container with the further action responsibility of the customer play for the system back in service which without the required test he assumes liability for the system. Art 169. Maintenance all piping auxiliary equipment that shall be maintained with a good mechanical condition all the times as for the eliminated as far as possible all heads for safety operation. B. Vehicles and all components of the vehicle shall be maintained with a good mechanical condition on all times so that prevent heads for the safety operation. Subpart G, system utilizing ASME container storage capacity requirement. The minimum capacity of the above ground ASME storage containers shall be 100 gallon tank capacity for 100,000 BTUs. Appliance load with the tankless water heater shall be rated at 50% of the input rating calculating appliance load except for the DOT for the containers with a 4 pound through 100 pound capacity except for the requirement to connect with a small portable accessible outdoor cooking appliance with the input ratings of 100,000 BTUs an hour, but the less for the other exemption for the rule shall be approved with the director. 172. Maintenance ASME containers with containers of prudency with piping the equipment is connected thereto with the maintained with a good mechanical condition at all time and no leak is or unsafe condition shall exist. 175. Pressure test, leak checks, and inspection required pressure tests shall be performed with a new piping system. The piping system that has been modified with the hand new piping added with the length of the time of the pressure test should not be less than 1/2 hour with each for the 500 cubic feet per volume of pipe volume, the fraction thereof, except with the pressure testing less than 10 cubic feet with the pipe of the volume with a single family dwelling with the duration test may be reduced 15 minutes. Test pressure for the pressure test shall be 1.5 times the proposed operating pressure of the system, but in no case less than 3 psi gauge. There shall be no gain nor loss from the pressure during the test of the leak is indicated with the system shall be repaired with a new pressure for the test performed with the placing and service of the pressure source should be isolated before the test. No underground piping shall be covered until after inspection pressure test is made. Pressure test shall be documented with the dealer's leak checks. Low pressure leak checks shall be used with the system that receives the gas at pressure of 1.5 psi gauge or less shall be performed the first time at a tank of the piping system and appliances that are connected for use. Shall be performed in a suspected leak situation. Performing the first time service with the new customer should be performed in an auto out of gas interruption service the situation. High pressure leak with the check with the permitted lube with the low pressure leak. Check with the dealer with the document and file with the low pressure leak within 12 months with the customer with the file with the documentation with the office of the director within 12 months for that customer. The length of the time of the test this shall be within 3 minutes. The test pressure shall be 9 inches or negative 1/2 inch of water column equivalent. Low pressure leak checks shall be documented with the dealer's files. These leak check with this leak check with the regulator, include the appliance regulator with the control valve of the system, in accordance with each of the individual equipment shut off valves should be supplied with the pressure of the appliance with the leak check shall approve of the integrity with the 100% pilot shut off each of the gas equipment with the manual gas cock. Each gas shut off the valve incorporating 100% pilot shut off should be on the on position pilots not incorporating 100% pilot shut offs, and all manuals of the gas valves not incorporating safety shut-off valve system shall be placed in the opposition prior to the leak check. When leak is indicated, the repair shall be made with a new leak check performed before placing the system back into service. Or the following protocol shall be used with the performing the leak check with the draining water manometer with the equivalent gauge of the system is downstream of the final with the tape with the regulator pressure raising with the system with either fuel gap with the approved of the test medium and the full operating pressure for the class with another proper pressure service valve. Observe the gauge rating lockup that should be between 10 to 14 inches of the water column with equivalent with the relief enough to test the medium through the range of the burner. Other suitable mean with the drop of the system pressure for the 9 inches plus or 1 or minus .5 inch of the water column and equivalent with the ensure that all regulators unlock with the entire system and communicating with the gauge device. There shall be no more loss or gain pressure in the period of 3 minutes. Alright, 2. High pressure leak check. This leak check must be within the system receiving the gas of 1.5 psi gauge or less. With a low pressure leak check that has been performed documented within the past 12 months for the dealer for that system. The type of the leak check may be performed once annually when access to the gas utilization equipment is not accessible. Leak check may be used in the system receiving gas at pressure greater than 1.5 psi gauge, less than tank pressure. The length of the time the leak check with the 3 minutes for the test pressure for the leak check with the 10 pounds below the tank pressure for the test should be the documented dealer's file. The leakage indicated the repair shall be made. New leak check will be performed before placement of the check and the service system in service. Alright, the following protocol should be used with the leak with the check with the insert of the pressure gauge between the container and the cage gas shut-off valve with the first stage regulator in the system and in full container pressure into the system and then close with the container shut-off valve and ensure that enough gas should be then relieved with the lower pressure reading with the by 10 psi system should be then allowed to stand 3 minutes without any increase or decrease in the pressure gauge reading. This method indicates that there is an open line, open valve with the channel open and leaking anywhere in the system that could be used only under conditions stated in 175 B2A and B of this section. Alright, 3. In and out of the gas interruption service situation, the leak check will not be performed by the dealer with the procedure 167 of the code shall be used with the container that cannot be serviced. Alright, C. Inspections. Inspections should be performed at any time with the pressure, high pressure leak check with the low pressure leak check with its performance in for the dealer with the document within this file with the inspection test. That has been 12 months for the system. No inspection is required. Inspection shall include the inspection workmanship with all visible point typing, material connectors, appliance over the materials, ensure material connector valves, appliance are approved with liquid petroleum gas. Use of the inspection should include with the proper appliance with the insulation, proper flammable performance characteristics for the appliance. For appliance, any material connectors valve with appliance of the installation workmanship not in compliance with the code shall be repaired and replaced with documented or disconnected. 5. Documentation of the inspection was performed and shall be made by the dealer and retained in his files. 177 Appliance installation connections. You have approved the appliance with domestic commercial gas components and consuming appliances shall not be installed. Live for the correctness for the design, construction, performance is certified by one of the following. One determined by the nationally recognized agency adequately equipped with the component to perform its service with the shall be evidence with the attachment with the seal of the label of such gas applying with the agency shall maintain and provide with the national inspection production model of the gas applying with at least 1 year each for the year of the manufacturer premises approval of the American Gas Association laboratories evidence of the attachment of the listing symbol with approval seal of the gas appliances certificate lettering certificate approved under the above mentioned requirements listing underwriter laboratories may be considered with the constitution complying with the provision of this section. 2. Approved by the commission. B. Appliance installation of the connection appliance if it shall be installed in the accordance with the manufacturer instruction. And 2. In absence of the completion of manufacturer instruction, installation of the appliance installation shall be in accordance with the addition of the National Fire Protection Association number 54 National Fuel Gas Code adopted by the commission. Alright, C. Exemptions. Exceptions. 1. Existing installation where piping outlet for the appliance installed with accordance with the regulation where in effect with the time and so for the installation remaining approved. The exemptions include the removal of the existing appliance with the servicing and replacement of the appliance at the same time with the equal or better quality. The exemption does not allow adding new piping appliance with the location of new appliances where there are no pre-existing appliance with the meeting 177A and B. Installation heaters for the residence. Following liquefied petroleum gas room heaters that may be installed with the residence 1 or more 2 family dwelling and that is not with the manufacturer home, the mobile home, or the modular home. A listed wall-mounted liquefied petroleum gas unvented room heater equipped with the oxygen depletion with safety shutoff valve system may be installed with a bathroom with a 1 and 2 family residential dwelling provided with an input rating of which will not exceed 6,400 BTUs per hour. Combustion ventilation are provided in accordance with the paragraph 10.1.2 with the National Fuel Gas Code, the National Fire Protection Association 54 with the commission adopted. B. A list of wall-mounted liquefied petroleum gas unvented room heater equipped with the oxygen depletion safety shutoff system may be installed with a bedroom over the 1 of 2 family residential dwelling provided that the input rating shall not exceed 10,000 BTUs per hour and a combustion ventilation air provided with accordance with the paragraph 10.1.2 of the National Fuel Gas Code, the National Fire Protection Association 54 of the commission adopted. 3. Liquefied petroleum gas room heaters may be installed with the manufacturer home, mobile home, the modular homes, any of the following if they are liquefied petroleum gas listed vented heaters equipped with 100% safety pilot valve, vent spill switch, B. Liquefied petroleum gas listed unvented room heaters equipped with an accurate oxygen depletion safety shutoff system. They are not installed with sleeping quarters or bathrooms. Their installation is not prohibited by the appliance manufacturer instruction. Inputting rating of the heaters does not exceed 20 BTU hours per hour per cubic foot of space. F. Combustion ventilation air is provided with the specified in Part 9.3 with the National Fuel Gas Code, National Fire Protection Association 54, 2018 edition for the Commission is adopted, and the exemption of the exemption of others, those listed herein shall be approved by the Director of the Commission. Alright, subchapter H, specification of liquid petroleum gas installation schools at schools, places of public assembly. Part 179, requirements of plans and specifications. Sketch of the specification will include plot plans shall be submitted to the Office of the Director of Approval before installation. Sketch of the specification shall show the following: type of the building, frame, masonry, metal wall with accessory elevation, ground level of the building, sign of the location of all the gas and length of the run, size of the location of the tank and container, location, BTU ratings, all of the appliances, total of the BTU load, all other details related to the proposed installation required in Step 179. The following clarification requirements of the new sketch: schools, churches, nursing homes, and other places for the public assembly. 1. Where any additional piping is added, installation new applying with a change out with the applying with any of the higher BTU load with the new sketch required to be submitted to the Office of the Director of Approval to be replacement of storage tank of the container required. A new sketch to be submitted with the Office of the Director of Approval. 3. A new sketch is required with the changing of the fuel supplier and all places for the public assembly, even when no changes are made with the liquid petroleum gas system. D. In all cases, the installation report is required with the installation container tank with the cylinder in the school, with the church, with the nursing home, and the other public places of public assembly. E. The Commission reserves the right to make the final inspection witness for the witness pressure of the test for the inspector of the Commission before approving the sketch and allowing the system to be placed and serviced at all schools, churches, nursing homes, and other places of public assembly. 5. Half of the minimum capacity storage container tank with all cylinders of the 100-gallon capacity per 100,000 BTU appliances loads with all schools, churches, nursing homes, and any other place for the public assembly. Exemption to this rule may be made by the Director of the Commissioner. G. The fences are required storage tanks and containers, tanks, and cylinders at all schools, nursing homes, all churches, all schools, daycare facilities on site. Fences may be required at other places of public assembly when deemed necessary in interest of public safety by the Office of the Director of the Commission may approve the request for an exemption for the fencing requirements under extenuating circumstances. Subchapter I, adoption of standards. Okay, 181, National Fire Protection Association pamphlet number 54 and 55. Liquid Petroleum Gas Commission hereby adopted the National Fuel Gas Code of 2018 with the National Fire Protection Association designated in 54 in 2018. Liquid Petroleum Gas Commission also adopted Liquid Petroleum Gas Code 2017. National Fire Protection Association designation 58 and then 2017. In addition, the Commission may adopt subsequent addition to these standards that may rule change in accordance with the Administrative Procedure Act. See, any Liquefied Petroleum Gas Commission rules, regulations should be presidents over the container reference and adopted 181A. The Commission reserves the right to make any exemptions to 181A that apply with the local conditions if it deems necessary in the interest of the public safety. 1. If an installation either installed with Louisiana that meet for the previous rules regulation promptly given the Commission may remain in use until the persistent requirement evacuation replacement upon evacuation replacing any installation system shall comply with 188.1. E. The following are exemptions to the code of the standards revised in 181A. Pursuant to this shutoff valve at the end of the transfer hose, National Fire Protection Act 58, 2007 edition provisions 627.3.16 shall be converted to meet Louisiana listed quick action shutoff valve with a positively lock off with a listed with global valve and trouble the discharge end of the transfer. 2. Pursuant to 7431 National Fire Protection Code 58, 2017, maximum permitted filling limit of any container with a practical shall be deemed by the weight of the specification cylinder 200 pounds propane capacity less than or in commerce or transport shall be filled by weighing only. Exemptions. 8. Dot cylinders filed with a bobtail for the customer facilities equipped with the following with the volume but not transported over the highway. State of Louisiana exemption. Forklift cylinders filed with the bobtails used on the premise not placed and transported over the highways in the state of Louisiana. Dot cylinders filled with the customers from the customer tank precisely if the clipped were following with the volume with the not transport over the highway state of Louisiana. Example, the forklift cylinders filed with the customers of the tank for the use on the premises if it does not play for the transportation over the highways. C. Dot cylinders are permanently affixed if the clip of filling over the volume. Examples of the motor vehicle with the top of the cylinder permanently affixed with the recreational vehicles. Alright, pursuant with the 9239 National Fire Protection Association Code 58, 2017 editions, clarification cylinders may be transferred to liquid petroleum gas cylinders having a 4-pound liquid petroleum gas capacity greater than shall be transported having the relief valve communication vapor space for the cylinder. Pursuant to 8422 of the National Fire Protection Association 2017 edition, the following provisions shall be met. All curb stops with the crash protection shall be meet at least 5 feet from the cage, 5 inches high and stacked into the ground. All posts with the crash protection shall be at least 2 inches in diameter, 12 inches above the ground, 20 inches above the ground, at least 2 feet from the cage with no more than 4 feet apart. Each cage shall have the no smoking sign with the name of the permit holder of the supplier, name affixed to the cage. All the cage ignition sources, including and implying with the cabinets of the appliances such as Coke machines and water coolers, electrical dispensing machines. The shelter should be at least 5 feet from the cage. Cages shall be at least 5 feet from the point of the public gatherings, such as payphones, benches, smoking areas, break areas, cages hosing liquid petroleum gas gas dot cylinders shall be located at the minimum 5 feet from the lining of the adjoining property. Pursuant to 6816 flotation prevention clarification. Installation requirement flotation prevention measures must either be the commission guidelines due to the method of the products from the qualified agency, proper documentation acceptable to the commission. Provisions 9621 the installation liquid transfer facility, National Fire Protection Association 58 2017 edition. When then liquid petroleum gas is used as the sole method of transferring liquid petroleum gas from one container to another, pressure differential gravity filling disturbance distance to table 6721 shall be doubled. Pursuant 6226, liquid petroleum gas on vehicles other than engine fuel system 58, the Office of the Director established the inspection procedure, including the decal with approval of mobile units utilizing the liquid petroleum gas. The fuel applying with the inspection procedure would be a condition. Appliance regulation, National Fire Protection Association Code 58, 2017. Or pursuant to National Fire Protection Association 58, 2017 edition, vehicle barrier protection is defined in Section 3388 to protect with the contained vehicle impact and installed within the scope of the Chapter 6 of the edition, including but not limited to the vehicle fuel dispensing systems. In Section 627, the dealers must either have the Commission guidelines established for the method of the products and qualified with the agency, including engineering with the proper documentation acceptable to the Commission that adequate vehicle barrier protection has been provided. Alright, use of liquid petroleum gas as refrigerant is prohibited. No person or firm or corporation shall use, sell, or distribute liquid petroleum gas for use with the mobile air conditioning system. Hydrocarbon refrigeration containing liquid petroleum gas is strictly prohibited. Sale of the storage used outside of the using refrigeration system within borders of the state of Louisiana. Specific exemption of the regulation can be found with the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Regulation Title 40 CFR Part 82. Determine the refrigerated liquid petroleum gas with the proper shipping name of the shall be with the proper shipping name of the UN number, the hazard class of the division number, the liquid petroleum gas data per dot hazard from the table with the premium facing evidence that refrigerated liquid petroleum gas is prohibited. Any advertising other literature published for the manufacture of refrigerator promoting its replacement, the dropping in the CFR 12, the HFC 134A bull shell premium facing evidence being sold with a mobile air conditioning system is prohibited. Chapter 2, School Bus Transit Installations. Cut the chapter there.